Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel once again. My name is Olo, and today we're talking about minor inconveniences, the worst possible thing in the history of ever, of course. New Horizons is a fantastic smash hit of a game, a wonderful world filled with character and satisfying experiences. And though we really do be vibing, I can't help but notice a whole bunch of little details that in fact kill my vibe. Please do not kill my vibe. So let's talk about some improvements and updates that Animal Crossing really could use, sourced from my own experiences, like 100 Reddit posts and random Twitter suggestions that I've read or seen too. I put together a little list of 20 things that I'd love to see in New Horizons future updates. Starting with a couple of visual updates, I want to bring up the most obvious and probably most requested update just to get it out the way. Durability visuals. I've got like 5 axes, shovels and fishing rods that were all slightly damaged and used in my storage because I had to create a fresh set before going to another mystery island. I've no idea how much I've used a tool, how close it is to breaking, and there's no indication of any kind, so I just have to craft a new set before I go on any island adventure because I probably plan to fill up my inventory. Obviously, this affects general gameplay too, and would be a simple and appreciated feature, letting us see the percent of durability that remains on any tool. Speaking of visuals though, how about a visual that shows you that you've already learned a recipe? We can actually do something similar to this by checking the Critterpedia page and seeing that little owl icon to see if we've already taken this to the museum. Currently, we've got to use each and every DIY recipe forever just in case we're unsure if we know it or not, which is most of the time. If there was a simple icon just like the one in the Critterpedia, maybe at the bottom corner of the recipe, showing that you already know this, it would save a mass amount of time long term, a real quality of life update that would be easy to add. And I just appreciate seeing this in, say, the Nook's Cranny store, or maybe with the Nook Mile store for any recipe that I already know. And if you really want to talk about save time, well, you know this one's coming. Repeat dialogue. I waste so much of my life skipping through the same 10 lines of blathers every time I want to donate something. Maybe every time I catch a goddamn sea bass. Maybe every time I dig up a clam. We all know this experience. And we mash the fast forward button pretty much the majority of most dialogue interactions at this stage of the game. So I would really appreciate being able to fully skip dialogue that I've reread over 5 times before already. As simple as just holding one key to full skip dialogue at an extreme rate that also prevents me from skipping any dialogue that I've never heard before, just in case. So that's some visual stuff. Let's talk about some deeper mechanics of the game. Some serious improvements to the mechanics of Animal Crossing that would really help. Starting with crafting, please just give us bulk crafting. It's so simple. We'd be able to choose an amount of items that we want to craft in one set, maxing at maybe however many I can currently make from the resources that I have, or 99, and it should also take into consideration how much inventory room I've got right now too. Super simple. Baffling that we don't have that in game already. Then you've got the customization of furniture. Does it really have to be an entire second menu? I do hate to admit how many times I've gone straight into the wrong menu each time I try to customize. It just doesn't seem impossible to me for them to put customization into the same crafting menu, letting you view what types of customization you can do to each furniture item before you actually craft it, and then choosing in one button press to craft and customize an item all at once. That'd be a dream. But what if we went further with these benches? What if, when using, say, a DIY bench inside of your home, you can access both your current inventory and home storage during the craft? So you wouldn't have to faff around, leave the crafting table, go into storage, find the resources, put them in your pockets, then craft again. It just happened smoothly by going straight to a bench which can access your storage. What about new keybinds like the instant use button? Something that lets you hover over an item in your inventory and then just use it immediately with one button press. Instantly eating a fruit, or using an item, putting on a clothing, equipping a tool. Just press one button and then it's on, or you've eaten it, or you've used it. We could double up, including an instant drop button here, dropping items on the ground by hovering over them in a similar way and pressing the drop button. This mechanic would work well on the trigger or bumper keys since they're not really used during the inventory screens. We could even go further and have this work when you're in home. So instead of dropping an item when you hover over it, it now goes straight into storage or withdraws it when you're in your home. Think of the possibilities, the save time, the precious seconds. I joke, but long term, this would genuinely save all players a lot of time. This one's a really interesting one that I read. A new late game unlock via Nook Miles, you know, those permanent passive character upgrades we get, like new recipes. We could have one that lets you see the value of items when you look at them, if you've ever sold them before, that is. You'd be able to see the prices they sell for, and if you've got any currently in storage. Not a big change really, but it'd be very useful, and would be another good way to use a nice chunk of Nook Miles, say 10k or something, because I'm sitting on 50,000 right now. Now, one thing I saw come up quite a lot in the Reddit specifically was different phone apps for different convenience, and I've heard a bunch of good ones, but my favorite one by far has to be the Airlines app. You just pull up your phone, click the Airlines app, and then that would allow you to open your gates from anywhere on your island. You could select whatever option you want, be it local or online, friends, best friends, or just set up a dodo code from wherever too. That would speed up, just slightly, the horrifically slow multiplayer experience, which I'm all for. Let's be honest, it's quite slow. Next, let's talk about inventory options, because I'd bloody love any at this point. Most requested in this category of update is definitely the sort inventory button, where we could press one button to organize everything instantly. Tools always going to the top left until filled out, then resources with each kind of resource next to one another, furniture with furniture, fish with fish, so on. Players who want to organize it themselves still can, right? But players who want a clean inventory without all that faff can just press a single button. Now, we've already mentioned batch crafting. What about splitting stacks? Splitting item stacks into other stacks, letting you say take 20 stone and then turn that into a stack of 5 and a stack of 15, which would give you more inventory management agency and help with trading in multiplayer too. You could use this mechanic for eating fruit, letting you eat multiple at once, or even be great with purchasing items like you may often do at Nook's Cranny. Instead of buying 5 or 1 of an item, we could buy 20 or 3, that kind of thing. It all seems super obvious to me, and yet it's not in game. Similarly, in the Able Sisters clothing shop, I think we all know that irritating experience of seeing an outfit or an item that we want, and it's got different colors, so we want them all, or maybe a few of them. So then we have to go in and out of the dressing room several times just to buy a couple color variations. We really should be able to buy different colors for one clothing item in one go, same as buying in bulk. Another simple suggestion would be an inventory counter, popping up whenever we pick up a new item, or maybe just when we're close to a full inventory, that pops up and goes, hey, you're at 36 out of 40 or whatever, and that would help you keep track of how full your pockets are without opening up the menu to check as often as I find myself doing right now. Speaking of pockets, this is a tiny one, but let me check my pockets while I'm in the storage menu, instead of opening the storage, going, it's in my pockets, closing that, opening my pockets, storing the item from my pockets, then going back to storage again. Can you tell I've done this a lot? Maybe it's just me, but that bothers me. Okay, so there's quite a lot of like mechanical stuff there, but let's just talk about a couple of suggestions that are a bit smaller, but would be nice. Like, for example, a sit emo. Like, you know, the villagers do under trees and that. It's just nice RP with friends, and would be another friendly interaction with villagers. The game's about vibing, right? So let me just like vibe under a tree. Okay, here's an outlandish one. I know, sorry if I lose you guys on this one. The first time we've ever seen this in any game ever, right? But what if we had audio options, so we could turn up and down specific audio types for our preferences, like overall sound or music specifically, dialogue specifically, you know, whatever. I know I'm probably going too far on this one. Maybe I'm just being needy. Look, I love the Switch and Nintendo make great games, but I don't understand how we don't have this very basic feature that's in like all of gaming. Right now I can turn like overall audio up and down with the handheld version of the Switch, but when I've got it plugged in and set up on my monitor, it's just max volume and very loud. I understand that I can turn it up and down with the handheld version, and maybe if we were on a TV, I could use a volume remote on the TV, but it would solve so many issues if we could just manually turn down respective games or the Switch itself. Finally, for the last suggestion, what about a new type of villager, the Nocturnal type, for players who can't play in the daytime due to their schedule? This is often me. Then they'd actually have a specific type of villager to go after that works for their lifestyle, that's active when they play. Now, it's true that there are some personality types that kind of work for this, but it'd be cool to have a deeper pool of options, multiple personality types that are active at night based on the species, instead of just one personality type. Reddit user, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced this, Chellalust, created this fan art for some variations of the owl species. Obviously, this is what Blathers is, right? But with some cute variations on their patterns, their colorings, and as you can see, different ages too. I think this is a wonderful idea and will be perfect for a nocturnal villager species. Massive props to Chellalust for these designs that go alongside this suggestion. Please go upvote the original post. I'll ask Josh to add it to the description and I'll include a link in a comment. Okay, so that's about 20 suggestions for New Horizons with little and massive improvements to the game to really improve that quality of life while we enjoy this wonderful world. It's still a great game, but it could be even better with these updates. What do you think? Are these suggestions good or bad? Maybe you have your own idea. Let me know in the comments. For now though, I've been Hollow, you've been you, and this has been my little chat about Animal Crossing. Big shout out to the Animal Crossing community for coming up with many of these useful ideas. For now though, I will see you guys next time.